My name is Thales. I am also called the first philosopher, as I am the first individual to have a fully developed idea. I come from a rich intellectual heritage. I traveled to Egypt and Babylonia to seek a deeper understanding of the universe that goes beyond magic and spirits. During this time, Egyptians had possessed for centuries the knowledge of geometry, which later I demonstrated. During my travels, I was influenced by these cities because of their advanced civilization. Although they used the knowledge in practical ways, such as using geometry for farming, or religiously, like anatomy and physiology, to prepare the dead for the afterlife, I emphasized natural explanations as opposed to supernatural ones. I say things in the universe consist of natural substances and are governed by natural principles. That is, they do not reflect the whims of the gods. I searched for one substance or element from which everything is derived from, and later concluded that it is water that life depends on. Water exists in many forms. For example, ice, steam, hail, snow, clouds, fog, and dew. I think my conclusion of water being the primary substance has considerable merit. I was also the first to predict a solar eclipse. I did this by looking at stars and the planets, and by applying geometric principles to the measurement of things. For example, I would look at the heights of buildings. I have also cornered the olive oil market by predicting weather patterns. I would have to say that I made practical accomplishments during my life. These accomplishments brought great fame to myself and respectability to philosophy. I say this because I showed knowledge that minimized supernaturalism and emphasized how nature can provide power over the environment, which is something humans have been seeking since the dawn of history. It was I who started the critical tradition that was to characterize early Greek philosophy. Another important thing about me is that I offered my ideas as speculation and welcomed criticism. I do this so that I can improve on my teachings.
I'm Anaxamander. I was a student of Thales, and two believed that there must be one substance from which all else derived. A substance that exists in nature, that can change form and is necessary for all life to exist. However, unlike my teacher, I disagreed on what that substance was. In Thales' eyes, the substance was water. Water was the physis, the one thing that all life needed to exist. I disagreed for the reason that water is only one thing. It can only be wet, never unwet. Its main property never leaves from any of its other shapes of steam and ice. I believe that something, the physis, cannot be bound to only one property. It must be capable of creating anything, of any property, no matter how different or opposite that property is. It cannot be bound by any laws. It cannot be defined. It is boundless and indefinite in nature, and infinite in its capacity. I called that substance the Aperon. I also had my own basic theory of our evolution as a species. I saw it that through a combination of earth and water, fish arose within the sea. Just like infants spend a period in their mothers developing for protection, the early humans spent a period within those fish, developing, growing, nurturing, until, like the birth of a child, they emerged from those fish, fully developed, and took to the land as their rightful place. That is the origin of our species. And there you have it. I gave the thought of the physicist being boundless, infinite, something that possibly could not be fathomed, but was necessary for everything in life to exist. I also gave a rudimentary theory to how we as a species came to be. And that is what I contributed.